Hi, I'm Streaky from Streaky.com, and today I'm going to tell you the 5 things I wish I knew before I started mastering. So, number 1 is don't overthink things. I think a tendency for everybody who does mastering or does recording or anything to do with music or life in general seems to overthink everything. So thinks they need to do more than what they have to do. They kind of are thinking, oh, what are my saturation levels like, and what are my different ratios on the compressor? Well, a lot of it is quite straightforward and quite standard, so there's no need for you to get too sort of bogged down in the detail. It's kind of just go for it, use your ears a lot, don't get too stuck on finer details, micro. Just deal with the macro and you'll be fine and you'll get better and you'll kind of just get into the swing of things without just getting bogged down in the detail, overthinking it, which then stops you from moving forward. 2, take your ego out of the equation. So the music isn't about you, it's about the artist and what they're trying to achieve, not what you're trying to achieve for your own career and for where you want to go in life. You are going to get where you want to go in life by making their music sound the way that they want it, because they're not going to come back to you, and then you're not going to have any clients and you're not going to have any work, and then you're not going to go anywhere. So what I'm saying is sometimes there's a tendency when you very first start to think, well, this is music, this is a creative process, so I've got to be the creator. Unfortunately, as the mastering engineer, your creation is only in a way of helping somebody else's craft be better presented. So you're there as somebody who is taking their raw materials, working with them, and then pushing it to a better place to get it to sound as a finished sound, a commercial sound, or however they want to make it sound. If they want it dark and moody and dull and horrible, that's fine, that's their choice. You're there to facilitate that need and to advise them on how you think you can get it that way, and then that's it really. If you start thinking to yourself, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm really going to show them what I can do, and this is, you know, I'm going to put myself in this is my style, they don't realise, these guys, I'm excellent. But it's like, you're just up for a hiding to nothing, because you end up putting loads of top on, loads of bottom, and like trying to get it really smacking and think it's sounding great, and ultimately it usually doesn't, and it doesn't make them feel good about their music. They'll come back asking for tweaks and things, and it's just not going to work. So take yourself out of the equation and work with the client and get the sound that they want, that's going to take their music to the place they want to go and to the genre they want to do, and then that will help your career at the end of the day as well. Number 3, it's not just about turning knobs, it's about networking. So what I thought first of all was, I just want to be in music because I've seen a big mixing desk, I want to work in a studio and I want to turn a load of knobs and it'll feel great because it's like a spaceship and all that kind of nonsense. Where, yeah, that's fine, of course it's about that to a certain point, but a lot of it is to do with networking, because you're not going to be able to turn the knobs on stuff apart from your own music unless you network, you speak to people and you build relationships. So I would say it's fundamental that you build relationships early on in your career, because some of those relationships are going to last you your whole career. A lot of the people I work with still today, after doing it for 25 years, are people that I met in the first 5 years of working, because as their careers grow, so does your career grow, and so you're bouncing off each other. As you know, your experience, their experience, then they're telling their friends who are at certain levels as they're growing. So your network develops and that spreads, and then that gets your name out there, gets you working on better things, and then ultimately your career grows and you get to the place you want to be working on the kind of music you want to work on. So yeah, network a lot more than worrying about the knobs, because that's kind of easy, that comes naturally because that's kind of what you're really into. And I always found the networking side of things a little bit harder, but you know, especially now with the internet, people used to come into the room a lot more, so it was easier for me to build relationships in those early days. So you're going to have to get yourself out of the studio now and get into nightclubs if that's what you got to do, or into studios, or you know, different events, and just start chatting to people and start, you know, mixing with in the right circles, just so that you can start helping yourself get that work in the door. Number 4. Now, first of all, when you get into music, I don't think you actually totally know. A lot of people don't totally know what they want to do. You might have gone to music college and then studied a variety of stuff. You might be a songwriter, you might be a singer and not know which way you want to go. Do you want to be a pop star? Do you want to be a songwriter? How long do you want your career to be? I think early days is the first couple of years in the music industry. You should be having a little look around, finding your feet, seeing where you want to be. And then what you need to do is then go, okay, now that's the thing that gave me a spark. So now I'm going to nail that. I'm going to really focus in on that, put the blinkers on, and then go for it, so that you can just make sure that you're really the best at that thing. Whether that be, you might start as a sound engineer and then realise, actually, I really like A&R, or I really like the fact of, like, when I went to the gigs and I was promoting stuff, I really liked that, but also I did the live sound on that thing and that was brilliant, that was great. I really enjoyed the sort of feeling of being live. So yeah, try a few things out, see which ones give you a spark and make you want to go for it, because to be honest with you, you need that spark, because on the days when you've got no work and you've got nothing going on and you're feeling a bit low and a bit down, it's having that passion that takes you through those sections, those sort of low moments, and gets you through into the high moments. Everyone can be on the high moment and think, yeah, this is great and it's, what I want to do. But it's when you get to the low moments that you really need your passion and you really need your heart in it to just dig on deep and get you through to the next stage. So number 5 is leading me on to the next one, which is patience and persistence. So as I say, with the passion going into your lowest ebbs, you're going to need a lot of patience and you're going to have to persist a lot, because it's going to take you, Malcolm Gladwell says 10,000 hours. I always thought it was 10 years basically to get good at anything you want to get good at. So it's the reality of it is that you're going to have to work really hard in a niche, whether that's a mix engineer, mastering engineer, recording engineer, live engineer, A&R man, whatever, all the things that I said on number 4, is you're going to have to get blinkered, you're going to have to tuck in, and you're going to need patience, because it's going to take you a long time. Now, everybody thinks as soon as they come out of the traps that they can do everything and that, oh yeah, I can do a bit of that, bit of this, bit of that. You're never going to get good at anything that way, because you've only got a certain amount of energy. And if you're putting that energy into 5 things, you're splitting that energy across to 20% on each thing rather than 100% on one thing. So it's really good to just focus in on one thing and work hard on that thing. It's going to take you a long time to get to where you want to be. So have that patience to know that, okay, I'm not going to be great to start with. I'm probably going to be rubbish. But you've got to believe in yourself and say, no, I'm not, I'm brilliant, and I'm going to keep going and keep going. So it's like that patience and persistence just gets you through. It was much easier for me when I started doing that, because I didn't have the internet, so I didn't have YouTube and blah, blah. So I didn't go, okay, I can learn that and I can learn that. I had to learn from the guy that was in the next room. So it was mastering. Where now, you can splinter off in loads of directions. But as I say, if you do splinter off into different directions, you won't have enough energy. You won't be able to learn as much as you need to learn about that niche to get you to the level with either the 10,000 hours of learning that thing or the 10 years it takes to build up your contacts, to build up your knowledge, to get yourself out there and get known. So don't be downhearted. Get stuck in, keep very patient, and just keep going and going and going and going and going, and you'll get there. If you haven't done 10 years, you haven't done enough time yet, so keep pushing. Okay, well, that's my 5 things I wish I'd known 20 odd years ago. If you've got any things that you think would be handy, please put them in the comments. Please ring the bell down on the subscriptions, because I know a lot of people watch but they haven't subscribed. So please subscribe so that you'll get notified when I'm putting a video up. If you've got this far and you want me to master for you, there's also a code below, and go to streaky.com and sign up for the emails, and then you'll get the monthly newsletter from me telling you all kind of good stuff and discounts and stuff. So anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.